It is 2 a.m. You are staring blankly at your computer screen. Your heart is pounding against your ribs. Your chest feels incredibly tight, and you are fueled entirely by a toxic mixture of cortisol, regret, and cold coffee. You have a major deadline in exactly 6 hours. And the worst part? You haven't even started. You've had 3 entire weeks to do this, 21 perfectly good days. But here you are, doing what you always do, punishing yourself at the 11th hour. And as you frantically type out sentences that barely make sense, your inner voice is screaming the exact same question it always asks. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Am I broken? Am I just incredibly, hopelessly lazy?
Today, we are unboxing the biggest, most damaging lie you have ever been told about your own productivity. Procrastination has absolutely nothing to do with laziness. It's not a time management problem, it's not a lack of discipline, and you don't need another expensive planner to fix it. Procrastination is actually a complex emotional regulation problem. It is an evolutionary glitch in how your brain handles fear and stress. If you are constantly fighting the exhausting urge to delay your work, you don't need to try harder. You need to understand the invisible psychological war happening inside your head. Let's look at the cycle of self-sabotage. It usually starts with a perfectly innocent morning. It's 10 a.m. Boxley has a massive project due tomorrow. His inner monologue kicks in, sounding incredibly reasonable. Okay, I have plenty of time. I want to do a really good job on this, so I shouldn't rush. I'll just clear my head, grab a quick lunch, and start fresh at noon. Noon arrives. He's eaten. Well, I just had a big meal. I'm in a food coma. I can't do deep, high-level creative work feeling sluggish. Let me just watch one quick YouTube video to recharge my brain. Suddenly, it's 4 p.m. The sun is setting. A mild panic starts bubbling in his stomach. Okay, it's way too late in the afternoon to start a huge task. My day is already ruined. I'll just wake up super early tomorrow. Tomorrow morning Boxley is going to be a machine. He's going to crush it. We all know what happens next. Fast forward to 2 a.m. Tomorrow morning Boxley is a myth. He doesn't exist. Instead, 2 a.m. panic Boxley has taken the wheel, desperately trying to save the day while actively hating himself. It is a vicious, exhausting loop.
So, why does this happen? Let's peel back the layers of your brain. Layer number 1 is a concept called temporal discounting. Your brain is hardwired by evolution to prioritize immediate, guaranteed rewards over future, abstract ones. To your primal brain, the immediate dopamine hit of scrolling TikTok is a guaranteed 10 out of 10 right now. The reward of getting a good grade or a promotion next month, that's a future problem for a future person. But let's go deeper to layer 2, the amygdala hijack. When you look at a difficult, ambiguous, or overwhelming task, your brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, perceives it as actual physical danger. It triggers a mild fight-or-flight response. Your brain literally says, this spreadsheet is making us feel incompetent and stressed. Flee the spreadsheet. Go to a safe place. Procrastination isn't you being lazy. It's your brain executing an evolutionary escape mechanism. If any of this is hitting close to home right now, hit that subscribe button because the fix is coming up and you're going to want it. This brings us to the deepest layer, layer 3, the procrastination emotion link. Dr. Tim Pychyl, a leading psychology researcher on this topic, proved that procrastination is entirely an emotional regulation problem. You are not avoiding the task itself. You are avoiding the negative emotions associated with the task. You are avoiding boredom, frustration, imposter syndrome, anxiety, or the fear of failure. You put off the work as a coping mechanism to temporarily soothe your immediate negative mood. It is short-term emotional repair at the cost of long-term success.
This scientific reality completely shatters what society and the multi-billion-dollar productivity industry tells us. The common, useless advice is always, just use a to-do list, just discipline yourself, get organized. So Boxley tries. He buys a beautiful leather-bound planner. He spends 2 hours meticulously color-coding his tasks. Red ink for urgent, blue for emails, green for creative work. He sets up perfectly categorized folders on his desktop. He feels incredibly productive. And then, He doesn't actually complete a single item on the list. Why? Because you cannot solve an emotional problem with a logistical tool. Getting organized is often just a socially acceptable form of productive procrastination. A color-coded to-do list doesn't stop your amygdala from panicking. It just gives your amygdala a very neat, highly organized list of things to be utterly terrified of.
Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Picture a roundhead stuck deep in this emotional avoidance cycle. They rely entirely on waiting for motivation to strike. They only ever get to work when the sheer terror of the looming deadline finally outweighs the fear of actually doing the task. It's a miserable way to live. They exist in a constant state of low-grade guilt, never fully able to relax and enjoy their free time, but never fully engaging in their work either. They are always vaguely stressed. Now contrast that with someone who understands the emotional framework. The person who breaks free doesn't magically fall in love with doing their taxes or writing essays, but when the anxiety hits, they don't run away. They process the emotion, bypass the panicked amygdala, and start anyway. And here is exactly how you can build that system for yourself.
This is your emotional regulation framework. Step 1. Emotion labeling. The next time you feel the urge to open a new tab or pick up your phone, freeze. Don't move. Sit there for exactly 30 seconds and name the specific feeling you are trying to escape. Say it out loud. I am avoiding this email because I am afraid the client will be angry. Or, I am avoiding this code because I feel stupid and don't know where to start. By naming the emotion, brain imaging shows you literally move electrical activity away from the panicked amygdala and into the logical prefrontal cortex. You take its power away. Step 2. The 10-minute rule. Your brain is terrified of the commitment to finish the whole project. That's too big of a threat. So you have to lie to your brain. Tell it you are only going to work for exactly 10 minutes. Set a physical timer. Tell yourself that after 10 minutes, you are fully allowed to stop and play video games with zero guilt. The hardest part of any task is simply overcoming the initial friction of starting. Once you start, the anxiety drops off a cliff, and 80% of the time, you'll just keep working right past the timer. Step 3. The forgiveness protocol. This is the most crucial, scientifically backed step in the entire video. Studies consistently show that people who actively forgive themselves for procrastinating in the past are significantly less likely to procrastinate in the future. Beating yourself up creates more negative emotions. And what do we do when we feel negative emotions? We procrastinate to escape them. By forgiving yourself for yesterday's failures, you break the cycle. You remove the guilt, which removes the trigger for tomorrow.
It is time to stop calling yourself lazy. You are not broken. You are simply a human being with a brain that is trying a little too hard to protect you from stress and negative feelings. It's time to stop running away from the discomfort, face the feeling head-on, and take your time back. If this framework helped you finally understand your own brain, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below with what psychological trap we should unbox next. Until then, forgive yourself for yesterday, set your 10-minute timer, and I'll see you in the next one.